We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
And I want to be completely honest and get this off your chest. I mean, get this on your breast. I mean, my breast.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Gene Wilder performances.
You don't know anything about me. You read about me in the papers. You know me for 1 month.
For this list, we're taking a look at the funniest, zaniest, and most iconic performances of this legendary actor's illustrious career.
Come here, mate. I don't want to hurt you. I just want to make you kosher.
Number 10, Eugene Grizzard, Bonnie and Clyde.
Hey, what do you do anyhow?
I'm an undertaker.
Bonnie and Clyde might be a dark, gritty crime drama, but Gene Wilder sprinkles in some comic relief in his debut film role.
Oh my Lord, they're coming after us.
Step on it, Velma. Velma, step on it, Velma.
Along with his girlfriend Velma, Eugene Grizzard is taken hostage by our titular antiheroes. Eugene is naturally horrified at first. As the carjacking turns into a joyride, however, he begins to warm up to his captors.
Don't tell it now.
Although he's only on screen for several minutes, Eugene undergoes a surprisingly memorable character arc. In what could have been an insignificant part, Wilder demonstrates his vast acting range and briefly steals the show. His performance is a true testament to the saying, "There are no small parts, only small actors."
They're coming after us.
Come on, kick in the pants.
Yeah. I'm gonna tear them apart.
Number 9, Theodore Pierce, The Woman in Red.
Oh, please.
Me too.
Wilder writes, directs, and stars in this screwball comedy about lust. As Theodore Pierce, Wilder plays a married man who becomes infatuated with a woman in red. Although Teddy is tempted to instigate an affair, he's afraid of how his jealous wife will react.
You realize you might have shot me?
Oh, I would never do that. And not without a reason.
To make matters even more complicated, he accidentally antagonizes a female co-worker, played by Wilder's future wife, Gilda Radner. Teddy may be a liar on the verge of committing adultery, but Wilder manages to develop this potentially unlikable character into an identifiable, empathetic individual.
I could have thrown my whole life away. And for what? A piece of ass.
His portrayal of the everyman ultimately says something thought-provoking about human nature, while also providing a fair deal of laughs.
Do you have a key?
Yes! Get the kids out of here!
Number 8, Sigerson Holmes, The Adventure of Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother.
Sheer luck.
Wilder not only takes center stage in this spoof, but also made his directorial debut and crafted the screenplay.
How could you have stolen that document from him?
I didn't know what was in it.
As the film's title suggests, Wilder plays Sherlock Holmes' brother, Sigerson Holmes. Despite being a gifted detective in his own right, Sigerson has always lived in his older sibling's shadow.
You can tell my brother to take his 5-pound note and
And may I say that I've been a great admirer of yours for many years, especially your handling of the case of the 3 testicles.
He aspires to make a name for himself by cracking a high-profile case. Wilder strikes just the right balance as Sigerson, coming off as egotistical and envious, while also being crafty and observant.
For unless I'm very much mistaken, the young lady's dainty hand is just about to knock upon my door.
He additionally demonstrates his knack for physical comedy with no shortage of energy. We're not entirely sure why Sherlock Holmes' brother would have an American accent, but perhaps that's a mystery only Sigerson can solve.
Nothing is hopeless. Do you understand? Nothing.
Number 7, Skip Donahue, Stir Crazy.
You don't really want to hurt this man, do you?
No, not at all.
Wilder made a total of 4 comedies with Richard Pryor, and Stir Crazy is one of the absolute best. Wilder's Skip and Pryor's Harry wind up in jail for a crime they didn't commit. And while he's certainly not happy to be caged up, Skip is able to make the best out of a bad situation.
Oh, is that a recreational activity?
I was hoping for volleyball or tennis.
Wilder is a delight in this role, fashioning an optimistic character with an unbreakable spirit. Skip exists in his own little world, cracking jokes and trying to make friends even in prison.
Nobody has ever just sat down and honestly talked with that man.
His outgoing nature may land him in trouble on occasion, but when you're sentenced to 125 years behind bars, having a positive outlook and a sense of humor can't hurt, right?
Swell. Just swell. A few ups and downs.
Number 6, Dr. Doug Ross. Everything you always wanted to know about sex but were afraid to ask.
Mr. Milos, you are crazy.
Not to be confused with George Clooney's character from ER, Doug Ross is a respected physician with a lovely wife. His life takes an unexpected turn, however, when he enters into a sexual relationship with one of his patients. The patient in question just so happens to be a sheep named Daisy.
We're just friends.
How could you?
This is Mrs. Bencorst, one of my patients. She thinks she's a sheep.
While the premise of this vignette is totally bizarre, Wilder plays his character with great subtlety.
Oh, God.
He never goes too over the top, making us believe that Ross genuinely loves Daisy, despite their differences. This adds to the comedy, bringing a certain degree of honesty to a ludicrous and disturbing setup.
We'll get by somehow. I'll get a job, I don't know.
In the end, Daisy returns to her ex and leaves Ross heartbroken. Well, there are plenty of other sheep in the pen.
Come here, spread your legs apart. Couldn't you at least not have eaten this morning?
Number 5, George Caldwell, Silver Streak.
Son of a bitch!
George Caldwell is just an ordinary man who falls in love on a train. After getting mixed up in a murder plot, though, he must step up as a man of action.
I shot him.
You shot him.
Yes, he shot Sweet.
Because Sweet was a Fed.
No, because he thought Sweet was me.
Reese shot Sweet and you shot Reese.
Right.
This film's plot almost sounds like an Alfred Hitchcock thriller, but Wilder's charm, wit, and comedic timing bring something truly unique to the table. With Wilder in the leading role, the movie is as humorous as it is exciting.
There's a bridge coming up! Get ready! God damn it, I'm not jumping! I've left this train twice already!
Silver Streak was the first time Wilder and Richard Pryor worked together, and it not only showcased their marvelous chemistry, it also marked the beginning of one of cinema's finest comedic duos.
It's a bad hat you got on. Give me $5 for it. It's yours. Thank you. Pay the man. What? Pay the man.
Number 4, Leo Bloom, The Producers.
Oh, I fell on my keys.
As Leo Bloom in The Producers, Wilder landed his first major on-screen role, as well as his first Academy Award nomination. Even more significantly, this marked his first collaboration with director Mel Brooks.
I'm wet! I'm wet! I'm hysterical and I'm wet! I'm in pain!
Leo starts out as a hysterical accountant that suffers from anxiety attacks. But upon meeting Zero Mostel's Max Bialystock, he's encouraged to take a risk on a get-rich-quick scheme.
Why are you loitering in my hallway? Speak, dummy, speak! Why don't you speak?
I'm scared, can't talk.
Throughout the film, the nervous Leo evolves into a confident individual ready to seize the day. Of course, when the duo's master plan falls apart, Leo immediately seeks out his security blanket for comfort.
Mr. Bialystock, I cannot function under these conditions. You're making me extremely nervous.
Even though Leo is timid, childish, and even pathetic at times, Wilder's lovable performance makes us root for this underdog every step of the way.
Max, let's face it, we'll never find it. Oh.
Number 3, Jim, the Waco Kid, Blazing Saddles.
How about a little applause for the Waco Kid?
In another Mel Brooks comedy, Wilder delivers one of his most tranquil performances, acting as a voice of reason to his co-stars.
You gotta remember that these are just simple farmers. These are people of the land. The common clay of the New West.
While Wilder maintains a laid-back persona, Jim's wild at heart. Before becoming a lowly drunk, he was known as the Waco Kid, the world's fastest gunslinger.
Well, what happened?
Oh, well, it got so that every pissant prairie punk who thought he could shoot a gun would ride into town to try out the Waco Kid.
Even when going up against a gang of thugs, the Waco Kid will keep a straight face and come out on top. Wilder captures the essence of this character with just his hands, one of which is steady as a rock. His shooting hand, however, can't be tamed.
Look at that.
Steady as a rock.
Yeah, but I shoot with this hand.
Aside from being hilarious in the role, Wilder creates a sympathetic character that seemingly has a death wish. Through his friendship with Sheriff Bart, though, Jim finds redemption.
Hey, boys! Look what I got here!
Number 2, Dr. Frederick Frankenstein, Young Frankenstein.
What a filthy job!
Gene Wilder was born to play a mad scientist. Of course, Frederick Frankenstein is initially reluctant to follow in his grandfather's footsteps.
But what about your grandfather's work, sir?
My grandfather's work was doo-doo!
In order to distance himself from Victor Frankenstein, he claims that his surname is actually pronounced Frankenstein. Yet the doctor eventually realizes that he can't escape his family's fascination with reanimating the dead.
You have more chance of reanimating this scalpel than you have of mending a broken nervous system.
Like many of Wilder's characters, Frederick frequently shifts from being relaxed and level-headed to obsessive and bonkers.
And I want the world to know, once and for all, and without any shame, that we love him!
His performance constantly leaves the audience on edge, never failing to take us by surprise. In addition to starring, Wilder also co-wrote the film's screenplay with director Mel Brooks. It just goes to show that Wilder was an all-round comedic genius, not to mention a nimble tap dancer.
Walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst.
Before we get to our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Mr. Stein, what are you doing? I recognize heartache. My wife just left me. Well, it was 15 years ago, but I'm reliving it because of these new meds I'm taking.
Where are you? You're supposed to study with me today.
Bernard, look at Bert. What are you looking so anemic about?
Listen,
Bernard?
don't touch that head. Whatever you do, don't you touch it.
Who are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Well, I'm not actually out of work. It's just that I produced this daytime television program.
Oh? Which one?
Let's chance it.
Screen test! I will win that screen test! Not because I'm the best actor in the world, not because I'm the sexiest man in the world, not because I'm the most handsome man in the world, but because I am unique!
Number 1, Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Believe it or not, Gene Wilder wasn't author Roald Dahl's top choice to play everyone's favorite Candyman. As far as we're concerned, though, Wilder's portrayal of Willy Wonka is nothing short of immortal, much like an everlasting gobstopper.
You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
As the mysterious chocolatier, Wilder aspired to create a completely unpredictable character. He couldn't have been more successful in the role. From the second Mr. Wonka walks on screen, we can never tell if he's being sincere or playing a trick on his audience. Sometimes he seems wise and gentle. Other times he comes off as insane and diabolical.
The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
Wilder's performance is consistently magical, however, encouraging us all to explore a world of pure imagination.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
Do you agree with our list?
The suspense is terrible.
What's your favorite Gene Wilder performance?
Up yours! Oh, I heard that song before, pal.
For more scrumdiddlyumptious top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I always wanted to go there.